Hello and welcome to the Lake Effect podcast. It's Halloween. We're going to do our Halloween special here. We're going to have Melody Mustafa from Accurate Glass Products, who's our coordinator, with us. Halloween's, it's her favorite holiday. So we have a few decorations amongst some products that we're going to talk about today. So let's get at it. So today we're going to talk about hardware. Mm-hmm. The first thing to do, I guess, is talk about shower hardware. So what basic products does Accurate Glass supply and install?
Are you talking like a shower? So we have our hinges and our clamps, our channel.
Yeah. So we do showers, yep. Right? We do railings.
Yes.
We do partitions and custom partitions. Yep. So I'd say when our truck goes by, you can see that there's 3 dots on the side of the trucks. Hopefully, people are seeing our trucks on the road.
I used to see them before I worked here, so
fair enough. Yeah, and they're pretty identifiable. And it says showers, railings, and partitions.
Yes.
And I would say we serve. We also own a company called Muskoka Glass by Accurate. It was based out of Huntsville, and so those are the products that we supply. So, Melody, let's talk. Let's start with railings. Okay. So, what kind of choices do people have when they get railings supplied by us?
You can either go with spigots or standoffs. Something more recent we did one with posts.
Okay.
So it was a frameless glass post system.
Okay. So our type of work would be more custom.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we're not doing fully framed aluminum with very thin glass. We're doing more thick glass and then several choices. So if somebody was watching this video or just wanted to inquire, on their own and they went to our website, they'd be able to find base shoe spigots, which are little mini posts, and standoffs, which are circular.
Yes, that go generally into like the wood if it was outside or inside, going into the stairs.
So what kind of color selections do people have in those products?
Matte black or stainless steel.
That's the standard these days, matte black or stainless steel. So I see you have some color samples in front of you. I see more than just matte black and stainless steel.
Yes, you're saying that, but I don't think they have anything but matte black and stainless steel.
Is it so?
For railings, like when I'm ordering spigots, there's just matte black and stainless steel.
Okay, so we have some samples here that you can pass over.
They do, I believe, have shower hardware as well. So I believe that would be more, you're looking at their shower hardware.
Gotcha.
We don't generally use.
Because it's Euro 4 samples.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it seemed to me that for a long time, chrome was the gold standard in both showers and railings, and then railings kind of went to a brushed finish, brushed stainless being the standard, I think.
Yes. So now I say stainless steel, but it is like a brushed
stainless steel
and matte black. Yeah.
And matte black, and so matte black, I would say, has become the most popular color for both showers and railings overall. Yes. Would that be fair to say?
100%, definitely.
Okay, and there used to be a premium for matte black because it was more difficult to get, but now it's pretty standard price.
It's one of our basics. Our 3 that we offer are matte black, chrome, and brushed nickel.
And brushed nickel. Okay, three of our basics. So, just so the homeowners and viewers are aware, if you're doing a shower and you want something more custom, I see in here there's satin gold and brushed anodized. So for the camera, I don't know how well the color's going to show up, but there's satin gold and brush anodized, which are certainly different than matte black, obviously. It seems to me that satin gold or forms of brushed gold are kind of like the new trend, like they're the new matte black.
Yes.
Would that be fair to say?
Gold is making a comeback, but it almost appears as though different suppliers, it's taking a while for them to catch up to it.
Just like they did with matte black.
Yes. Yeah. So oftentimes we'll have a customer come to us who has existing gold hardware in their shower and they're looking for us, or in their bathroom, and they're looking for us to kind of match that. And then that's when it becomes tricky because not all parts come in all colors. So the different parts needed for a shower might not all be available in the antique brass that they want.
Okay.
Sometimes they kind of have to work with it. They may have to go with satin brass or a different type of gold if they have their heart set on gold.
Okay, so there's, we have in front of us here some boxes. The boxes have different names on the boxes. Do you want to maybe run us through, the various choices and why there's so many choices and what the differences are?
Sure, we don't sell most of this stuff, Mike. So this is actually a hinge that we used on the door in this office here.
Excellent.
So it's the counterpart to what's on that door over there.
So that's, what color is it?
That's matte black.
That's matte black. Okay, and
So I believe it's a pivot hinge in it.
it's a pivot hinge in matte black.
Hard to do it, and I don't want to break a nail, so.
Oh, my nails are expendable. Give me a second here. All right. So the reason it's under tension is because it does spring back.
Yes.
It's like has an assist. So this would screw to the floor like this. You put screws through each side.
Yep.
And this is called a pivot hinge.
Yes.
Because it's not. It goes on the floor and the top and the gasket's full. It goes on the floor and the top as opposed to a glass to glass, which would go on the side.
Or even to the wall.
Okay, so or on the, this wouldn't go on the wall.
That would go on the top and bottom, and then the door is going to sit inside, and the door is what's going to make that.
The door would pivot like this, which is why it's called a pivot. Okay, so all the weight bears on the floor, or most of the weight bears on the floor.
Yeah.
So the key here, when you're using this type of hinge, now this one can be used in a shower, but it's like kind of oversized for a shower. More likely what you would see this is in a light duty office partition system.
Yes. That is definitely more heavy duty. There is a smaller version of that. And we do call it a pivot hinge from where we get it from CRL. And it is that essentially, but just smaller version. So usually that's used with a header bar.
Okay.
We use pivot hinges.
And then, this manufacturer it's like we have to make sure that we can always get what the customer wants. And then this one came from a company in Toronto called FMF. I would assume that the best thing for us to do when we can is not to mix and match manufacturers, is when you do a job, do it all with one manufacturer. So it's kind of like using brick, like the die lot needs to match.
Yes.
Yeah.
We try as much as we can. There has been the odd time where we've had to use a handle from somewhere else. If we just can't get the handle that the customer wants from the same supplier, but we generally try not to, because although matte black is matte black, different suppliers may have it in a varying color.
Okay, so we'll set this one aside. Let's move on to the next one. What else we got there?
So this is an adjustable standoff from Grey Goat. So this is, again, what we were talking about with the railing system.
Okay, so Grey Goat is another manufacturer.
Yes.
Grey Goat, some great guys who have a place here and in Montreal. They make, this is a stand, we wouldn't necessarily always specify Grey Goat for standoffs, but what a standoff is it literally stands the glass off of whatever surface you're mounting it to. So the glass sits in holes, and then you take the cap off, right? You take the cap off, it's got gaskets. The glass would sit on the flange. Hold on a second here. There we go. The glass would sit on the flange, then you put the glass on, and then you cap it and tighten it down.
Yeah.
So one thing that's worth mentioning, I would think, is that this is only as good as the surface that it's mounted on.
Yes, correct. If it's not, depending on, where it is, if it's not something that has any durability to it, it's not going to work.
Okay, so how do we assess durability? How do you when you send guys in glass to a cottage in Muskoka, which is where we're normally going, how do you know that it's going into something that's going to hold it?
Well, I hope Michael did his job.
Well, okay, for the viewer's sake, Michael, you can also, if you're watching this video and you want to search Accurate Glass, Michael Cadenhead, there's a fantastic video that he did, one of our first podcasts on Lake Effect podcast, where, Michael's a 45-year veteran of this business.
Yes.
And I guess what you're saying is that he would have gone first and assessed.
Speaking, Carrie actually would quote it.
Yes.
And Carrie at that point would have, I assume, talked to whoever the GC was, or whoever was asking her to quote that, to find out what material it was going into while she was in her quoting process.
Yeah, so normally
Usually when it comes to me, By the time a job gets to me and for what I do, all of those decisions have already been made and looked after.
Okay, so our company would make sure by whoever did the site consultation would have a
Yes.
look, or Carrie would look at the drawings to ensure that the staircase or whatever it's being mounted against is sufficient back.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, let's keep going. What else we got here? It looks like there's 3 boxes with the same name on it. Looks like old logo, new logo. So what manufactures that?
This is from CRL.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know what CRL is, who's CRL?
Sierra Lawrence. So that's generally the biggest name I would say in shower hardware.
I would agree. Pass me the box here and we'll show the camera
So that's the old logo. You're gonna be perfectly honest with you, I don't really know what this is.
fair enough. So this is CRL. This is a well-known logo, a company from the States. I believe they started in California, out of all the aircraft manufacturing companies, had all kinds of engineers and technical expertise, and so they developed shower hardware. And so the shower hardware that we kind of view as sort of standard today didn't really exist until about the late 70s, early 80s, and you started to see it on commercial applications, places like casinos and hotels and that kind of stuff at the main entrances. And then they kept developing the product until eventually by the late 90s, early 2000s, a frameless shower became standard, and these guys controlled most of the market before all these other manufacturers came along. So the greatest selection is CRL.
Yes.
Their prices tend to be a little bit higher, so you're going to pay for the brand name. There's plenty of great manufacturers that are no-name manufacturers that make stuff that's just as good as CRL. So just because it's CRL does not necessarily mean it's the best product, but they do tend to produce a good quality product.
They do.
Yeah. What's the biggest problem that you have with CRL?
Their head office is in LA. So as much as they do have a warehouse here in Vaughan, it's sometimes you're waiting on LA, so you have to wait for something to be shipped out. And there's not really a good, that I've seen, information back and forth between the different warehouses.
Okay, so Canada is a it's not where the headquarters are.
Yes.
And so when customers request sort of odd hardware, they have to expect to pay more and to wait a little bit for it, unless they're choosing standard colors or stuff that is more standard and available from multiple manufacturers.
Yes,
but
correct.
CRL basically makes anything and everything that you could possibly do. They make something to do it. It just takes time because sometimes they have to manufacture it or ship it, or it's back ordered. But they do make a lot of variety of products at a little bit of a higher price.
Yes.
Okay, and CR Lawrence, CR Lawrence, I've been dealing with CR Lawrence for, 30 years, and I found they're generally reliable.
Of course.
Yeah, they're generally reliable and produce a lot of cutouts and cutout drawings and diagrams that are also very reliable. So if we choose a product of theirs and we use the corresponding cutout, then the job is accomplishable.
Yes.
Okay, so this to me is this is an oddity. This is kind of like a glass to glass pivot hinge. Yeah. So this one piece will be stationary in the glass. This is really not easy to turn. Yeah. So it requires a lot of tension. I can't get it turned. So it's designed to have a lot of leverage put on it. And one piece goes into a transom on glass, and this becomes remember I showed the bottom piece. This is the top piece, and it would rotate. And this would allow you, instead of going to the ceiling, to have another piece of glass that goes to the ceiling.
Yes.
And then this has the chamfered edge or beveled edge. And there's probably versions. There's a version of this in Geneva style, which would have square edges.
Yes.
Yes. What's the advantage and disadvantages of square edges and beveled edges?
I really think it's all pros and cons. I do a mixture of both. So I would say half of them end up being the Geneva and half of them end up being the Pinnacle.
And we have regional colonial.
Colonial, just to give us a run for our money.
So these names, colonial, Geneva. You can go on CRL's website. The problem with CRL's website, if you don't know what you're looking for, there's literally thousands of products, and the availability is not the same on all the products. So if you want to know generally available products that are available within a reasonable amount of time and things that we're very familiar with or possibly even stock, go to accurateglassproducts.com, and there's a resource section in the shower installation part, and it shows you lots of hardware that is generally standard. Or give us a call if you're in Muskoka, Huntsville, Barrie, Collingwood, Aurelia, anywhere in Simcoe County, just give us a call. Our number's been the same for 50 years, I think, now. It was since 1969, so more than 50 years. 705-722-6767. And then you just press number 1 for installations, and you'll get Melody or Carrie or somebody will pick up the phone if you have questions. Don't just rely on the CRL website, because it doesn't tell you availability and standards, or tell you what our installers are confident installing as far as hardware and materials concerned.
So we use the contact form on the website, which sends me a direct email, which I can then respond to as well.
Perfect. And your email is
installs@accurateglassproducts.com.
perfect. Okay, so this is a diagram that would come in. I think in the next podcast we'll try and we'll have this thrown up on the screen. But this is for a Prima. Prima is the name of the line of this type of hardware, and we use standard cutouts. And each piece is custom, and that's one thing that the homeowner should understand is when you order a shower from us, we're going to measure it exactly to your opening. We're going to give you exactly the size door that we determine to be correct that pleases you, and we're going to give you whatever additionals you want. So maybe you want the AccuShield coating on it, which really cuts down on the cleaning and the squeegeeing required to a shower. We're going to put sweeps on it to make sure that despite whatever design is in your shower, the joke Michael makes all the time is he's like, if you don't want any water to get out, we'll make you a fish tank and you can just climb in over the top. Right? So if you have a shower head that's directed right at the seam in the door, water's going to get through. So shower design needs to be competent, and it usually is, and we can go in and we can design, and what Michael will do is design around what you have and custom create an enclosure for you, a custom shower enclosure, we'll do it at a competitive price. Yeah. So and this is just some of the things that we have to do on the back end, or we'll take care of for you on the back end, is making sure we've got the right gaskets, making sure that the cutouts are custom for your shower, and they're not. I would beware of people who can do it really, really inexpensively, because they're probably just getting stock doors that are pre-cut, shipped over from overseas, and they're planning the shower around the cheapest door they can buy. That's not what we do.
Well, it's not really that, Mike. You get what you pay for. And I'm a true believer in that you get what you pay for.
Yeah. Yes. So
some guy down the road might offer it for $1,000, but that means you're getting $1,000 worth of workmanship and potentially no warranty at that point, right? And if there's an issue, chances are that person's not going to answer the phone when you call them.
Correct. We have a location we've been here. I think this company's been in this location since 1988. We routinely service showers that are 5 years old, 10 years old.
We just did one the other day. It was 10 years old. We're going back to replace one panel. So
yeah, well, if you have a shower that was installed by us, even if it was a decade ago, if you have any issues with it, call us and we'll try and sort it out. We're not promising a 10-year warranty. What is our warranty?
I believe it's 1 year on hardware and glass. Within reason. It's kind of a case by case. So the one the other day, the one panel did blow up, but it's a 10-year-old shower, so I am charging them for it. But not what I would charge somebody off the street that just came in as a first time. So it's a good price and it's a fair price.
So we try to be loyal to our customers, even if so you mentioned, a shower blowing up, so the glass is tempered, and when the glass encounters a situation where there's enough pressure put on the side of it, it's quite intentional that it breaks into little pieces, that it's doing its job,
yes.
Right? Because it's safety glass. And what would cause, do you know what would cause something like that to happen?
I would say potentially could be like a screw going through the channel, maybe, and it hit a screw, depending on how tight it was. I'm just trying to think back to that one from
they don't
months ago.
There's a fallacy out there that glass spontaneously will blow up because the quality of the glass is poor. That is not true. So sometimes houses shift. Quite often we see it with railings. If the deck is not a really solid deck, and in the winter the snow makes the deck bend, then the glass contacts another piece of glass or a piece of metal and it blows up. When it blows up, it's doing its job, because if it didn't blow up, what would happen is if it wasn't tempered, it would crack and turn into a giant knife, and it could be unsafe.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but let's zero back to the point of the conversation, is that we've been in business a long time, and we have an interest in serving our customers, even if they're out of warranty, and if we can do something to help them. One thing we do is sweeps are made of vinyl, and depending on how much soap you're using or not using, or the type of soap, the vinyl will attract dirt and it will eventually wear out. If you walk in our door and you want a piece, and you have a shower that was installed by us, just show us a picture of it with our stamp, and we will give you a free piece of vinyl. We won't charge you for that.
And if I have somebody around that can do it, I can even cut it to the size you need it. If I have somebody able to do that, and you know the size of your door, what you need. Otherwise, I would just give you a full length, and you'll just have to cut it yourself.
Yes, so if you have a shower, Barrie, Muskoka, it's installed by Accurate Glass, Muskoka Glass by Accurate, and you need a sweep, just call us or come in.
There's also that very informational video of Justin replacing the sweep on our YouTube.
Correct. If you Google, Accurate Glass YouTube door sweep, he'll actually, in the video, he walks through everything that you need to do in order to cut a sweep and install. Okay, so there's one more box here, our Halloween special. It hasn't been eaten by the jack-o'-lantern here.
Probably hanger bolts or lag bolts.
Okay, this looks a little different than all the other boxes. That's a nice looking logo. What is that company?
This is from Euroforging.
Euroforge?
Yeah, so they are generally who we use for our railings.
Yes.
So this isn't necessarily accurate for now, but the way that they've actually revamped their design and their boxes are that white boxes are generally used for stainless steel and black boxes will be used for matte black.
Oh, okay. So this is an older box.
This is an older box, so it just has some screws in it.
Okay, fair enough. So if you go on our website, accurateglassproducts.com, and you look at a lot of the railing hardware, most of the railing hardware we use is Euroforge. They have in-house engineering. They're very communicable. They'll communicate with us. Their sales rep is here often.
He actually lives in Barrie, so he commutes into Vaughan to go to work, but he is available 24/7 when I call him. He'll help me, and if they don't have what we need, they fabricate it for us. So
fair enough. So Euroforge is their local excellent supplier, and they're actually owned by Richelieu, which is, I believe, a Quebec company, a Canadian company. Okay, so there's a couple more things we can talk about here. We're talking about some of the things that the installers. So sometimes we get some folks walk in and they're not sure they want somebody else to install the shower. They're not sure how to measure it, and so what we do is we have a general rule: we install, we measure, we install. If somebody wants to measure their own shower and bring in measurements and have us custom cut the pieces and they deal with it, that's fine. If we go measure it, we want to install it. Yeah. And if we install it, we want to be the ones that measure it, because measure is a skill that, that takes a lifetime, really, to understand all the variables.
But that being said, Mike, having a rough measurement, if somebody's going to walk in, is actually preferred by Carrie or myself, so that we can price it.
Yes. Yeah, rough measuring for pricing, no problem. Pictures, drawings, a sketch, a back of a napkin, we can price it for you. But what we can't do is we can't install it based on your measurements. We won't do that. We'll send somebody to professionally measure, and then we'll send somebody to professionally install. So what I brought today for our Halloween special here is it's funny, you walk around with this stuff in your pocket and you could be an installer for Halloween. So these seem like very basic tools, but our guys put a lot of, it takes years to figure out exactly which bit you want to use. It takes years to be able to understand, the exact amount that one of these vinyl shims will crush in a 5-year period. And until you've had the experience of doing that over many years, it's like anything else. You just kind of, you get into the groove of doing the same kind of work all the time, and you become better and better at it. And sometimes it's minute details, like, what size, do you know what size that is?
I couldn't tell you.
So, I think this is...
I rely on Justin Dennis.
This is an 8th shim. You have to, there's no measurement on here, there's no writing on it, there's a piece of vinyl, but you have to look at it and you have to know that it installs this way, not, like if the glass is this way, it has to install this way, not this way. You have to understand what's going to happen when you goop a bunch of silicone onto it, how it's going to look in the end, how much is it going to come through if the light is exposed to light, right? How quickly it's going to degrade and how quickly it's going to crush. So these are all things that's why we tend to want to keep our installers around. We're not just hiring temp labor. We're not hiring guys, and keeping them, rotationally or poaching people from other companies. We want our guys to come, to learn, to master the skill, and then to be able to apply that to our customers' openings. Some other, things you'll see the guys carrying, they use razor scrapers. This one is put in backwards for safety, I assume, so I don't cut myself. We spent years experimenting with different types of wall plugs and finding exactly the right wall plug to use in different applications. So there's just an example of a wall plug. So it's a larger blue one. And our guys have kits. They have a separate kit toolbox for showers than they do for mirrors.
Yes.
And that's because it's slightly different tools, and to get it exactly right every time and not have to go back to a job, that you have to use very specific things. So
Also keep extras of numerous things in their trucks so that it's not, we're in Huntsville and we don't have what we need. So they tend to keep extras of certain things that they think might come in handy for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been taught by other companies, other successful shower companies, on how to standardize our tools, standardize our trucks, how to use racks specifically that don't scratch glass and don't cause go through all this trouble of making you a custom product, and then to have it arrive at site and be scratched because it went into the truck wrong would be it's a waste of everybody's time. So over the years we've refined the way, and we continue to refine. Like, this industry does evolve, and we're trying to evolve with it.
Of course.
The last thing of note is when if you use us to install showers. So just to be clear about geographic area, we will go to Halliburton. We do lots of cottages in Halliburton, Redstone Lake, Piercy Lake, Halliburton Lake.
We've been up there a lot in the last week, so.
Yeah. I mean, recently, yes, we've been there quite a bit, but we do service that area. We do have plans when things pick up a bit. I think we're going to open to the public showroom in Huntsville. It would be nice for Muskoka Glass by Accurate. If you've already bought a shower from us, then you probably got one of these. We leave these door hangers. The door hangers have a checklist on it. Cleanliness, hardware, operation, performance, and seal of approval with the installer signature. Now, this is not just a box that gets signed. There was training involved. We train the guys on what all these points in the acronym mean, what our expectations and our customers' expectations are, and before they sign it, they're expected to follow that checklist and go through it. The other component of this is our guys, if you want to show some appreciation to us, which we would appreciate the appreciation, is there's a QR code that will be left on the hanger so you can give us a Google review. right? So if you're happy,
We love Google reviews over here. We do a happy dance.
yes, I was thinking of the rhyme, if you're happy and you know it, give us a Google review.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So the other side of this, I'm not going to go way deep into this, but the reason we produce this as a drawing on it that's left with every shower is when you have a shower door, if you swing the shower door halfway and then you try and close it again, it appears to be jammed. And the reason that is they're like your windshield wipers. The windshield wipers sweep the whole windshield and then sweep it back. The windshield wipers don't go halfway and back. And the reason is the piece of rubber has to sweep the moisture away and then switch direction and sweep in the other direction. It's the same thing with the sweep that we put on the bottom of a shower door, is it needs to sweep all of the moisture away, the fin switches direction and sweeps back. And that is the drawing that's on the bottom here. So please be aware of that. And because we're getting phone calls, everything's great except the door's jammed. And it wasn't jammed, it needed to be opened all the way and closed all the way so that the sweep could do its job.
A way to not have that is we do have a sweep that you can only open the door out as opposed to in, if that's how you choose.
A one-way door, yeah. Well, that comes, sometimes you have design restrictions. Let's say you have a canted ceiling where you have a rain head and the rain head is lower than standard, but the door needs to be taller and you don't want the door to open into, or if it's opened in, it'll hit the rain head, so you put a one-way sweep on it, right? Which reminds me, I need an H profile for a friend. Yes. So I think we'll wrap it for today. So thank you if you've watched this, thank you very much for watching it. We're going to produce these podcasts. The Lake Effect podcast will continue. Hopefully we'll have Melody on again at some point. And thank you very much. Look up AccurateGlassProducts.com. For our website. Just remember that Accurate Glass is also Muskoka Glass by Accurate, based out of Huntsville. You'll see our trucks have that logo on it as well, so you can also Google Muskoka Glass by Accurate, and you'll come up with the same website where Melody can, if you want, give us a call, 705-722-6767. Extension 1 will get Carrie or Melody to walk you through your choices of standard products, which you'll find on our website. If you are watching this and you're looking to put in a shower railing and you want some incredibly beautiful photography by our installers, Ben, Arthur, JP, Dennis, and Justin have taken some, and formerly, Eric as well, has taken some beautiful photos. And there's some excellent photos on our website that you can look at for inspiration. Okay, thank you for doing.
Thanks, Pat.